All right, so let's start. My name is Skip Gonsolin. I'm with the Illinois Attorney General's Office, and my title is Senior Community Outreach Liaison. So my primary responsibility is to talk to seniors, but our outreach team is a small team. So we will take advantage of all opportunities that are given to us, presented to us to get our information out there. So we speak at a number of different venues. So it may be libraries, maybe townships, churches. So we do a lot. We do a lot. So again, thank you for giving us this opportunity. Um, we can go to the next slide, Daryl, please. Okay. So agenda. We're really just going to talk. I'll provide an overview of the office for the Illinois Attorney General. Not everyone understands the role of the Attorney General. Many people are surprised about all that we do, and there may even be more confusion about what our office does not have the power to do. Um, so we want to be sure that we take care of that as well. Also, we'll also touch on some areas that often affect residents in communities across Illinois. Go to our next slide. Okay. Um, just a second. Catch up here. All right. So, getting help from the Attorney General's office. If you do encounter a problem, we will go all the ways that we will go over all the ways that the Illinois residents can reach out for help if you need it and what to expect when you contact the office. Questions and answers. Now, we will also have time to answer questions. I will confess that I'm not an attorney, and even if I were an attorney, I wouldn't be allowed to give specific legal advice. What I can do is share experiences and information, and I can point you to experts who are ready to serve. Now, we'll go through an overview of the Office of the Attorney General. Now, this picture that you see is a photograph of the Attorney General Kwame Raoul. He was sworn in on January 14th, 2019. Um, Before he was elected to this position, he was a Illinois state senator for 14 years. In the Senate, he passed laws on criminal justice, financial oversight, and healthcare services. So this is the experience that he brings to this role as the Attorney General. This is a constitutional office, one of only six. Okay. Now let's take a closer look at the role of the office of the Attorney General. All right. So, um, where you need us and how you need us. Our website, first of all, is an excellent source of information for all our services. You see that on the screen there. It's www.illinoisattorneygeneral.gov. No need to capitalize, no need, and definitely no spaces. Um, Plus, you can also submit online complaint forms for many situations. We also have all of our brochures and publications available to download as well. There is a ton of information on the website, and I strongly encourage people to go to our website and take a look around. We're constantly updating the website, making it easier to navigate, and putting information on there. So it's a lot of information. Please, if you have the opportunity, I'd strongly encourage you to visit our website. Lastly, there are six more people like me on the team of the community outreach liaisons who can do presentations, staff resource fairs, and meet with the public. So we are available. If you need us, by all means, please just reach out to us. Um, Now, you can think of the Office of the Attorney General as a large legal office. We have nearly 1,000 employees, including attorneys, as well as investigators, advocates, and other personnel. Now, the office is organized into what we call divisions and bureaus that focus on different types of law or service areas. Um, and we'll go to our next slide. All right. So now, um, what we have here is listed are some of the functions that the public most often encounter. We have over 40 bureaus, okay? But these here that are on the screen are the ones that you all would be most likely to come in contact with. There's some in our bureau that as a public member, you just will never come in contact with unless you have some special reason or special circumstances. Now, I think this is a good time also to make an important point about what we don't do. Most criminal matters in Illinois are handled by the state's attorneys at the county level. That is why sometimes people confuse us. Yet there are some specific crimes within our statute that we can investigate, make indictments, and take to trial. Okay, next, let's take a look at how the Attorney General's actions can make communities safer. Our office is often called on to work with municipalities on violent crimes and to share resources and experiences. Um, what we try to do is we try our best to keep the community safe as best we can within the realm of what we're able to do. We also partner with the U.S. Secret Service and Homeland Security to prevent mass shootings by training, education, faith leaders, and community organizations to spot warning signs and report potential threats. In response to the uptick in hate crimes, and bias-based violence. We distributed fact sheets in 12 languages, and we now have the authority to investigate individual instances of potential hate crimes. Also, our office has recently granted authority to investigate police departments where there may have been patterns of unconstitutional police practices. Lastly, we have devoted more resources to help victims of violent crime and provide funds to offset the impact of that traumatic experience. Now, these are important, of course, but we can turn our focus back to the areas of consumer protection that impact residents across our state. So, as you can see on the screen here, protecting Illinois citizens, consumers. Now, this is our top 10 consumer complaint list. So, as you can see on the screen, the number one consumer fraud problem in Illinois, and this is as of last year, 2025, is used auto sales. Okay. But I also want you to take a look at number nine. You will also see on our top 10 new auto sales. So basically, what that means is if you're purchasing a car, um, we have a lot of people that have problems when it comes to purchasing a car, whether it's new or used. Okay. Let me also say something about the top 10. The top 10 are almost always the same. There is an exception this year. but generally speaking, they're almost always the same. The only thing that changes is the order. Um, so this last year, um, number two, which was the home repair and improvement contractors, that type of situation. They had been in the number one spot for a number of years. They got knocked out by the used auto sales and they dropped to the number two spot. Also, the change on this screen is that we have a new addition to the top 10, and that's the very last category, which is the travel industry. People, when they're hiring the travel agents, that type of stuff, they pay for airline tickets and trips and all of that, cruises, that type of stuff. We've had an uptick in that, and so enough where they made the top 10 list. Now, let me say this as well. The Consumer Protection Division covers the majority of the work we do directly with the public. We keep a record of all the complaints that individuals make each year and compile a list of the top 10, as you can see above. Now, there were close to 20,000 written complaints, in addition to tens of thousands of phone calls. So, yes, we are busy, and this is just one bureau. So, we are very busy. Um, in 2025, well, let me say this. It's also important to note that our Consumer Protection Division also brings funds into Illinois. The Attorney General's Consumer Fraud Bureau saved consumers more than 9.5 million through mediation and secured 120.9 million through enforcement actions just in 2025. So we try very hard to save people money, restore their monies, or bring funds in when there are due to lawsuits that we have filed. And so we collect through those settlements. Um, also, Attorney Rowe's annual top 10 list it's important because it lets our attorneys not only respond to issues, but also how we spot trends. We encourage everyone to contact our office if you believe you have been scammed or treated unfairly in a consumer transaction. All right. We'll go to our next slide, which is consumer scams and how to avoid them. Uh, Although there are a lot of different scams that fraudsters are using to trick consumers out of their money and or identities, there are some scams that are used more frequently, and because of that, you may run into more often than others. These are the common scams, and they fall into categories that make it easier to spot them. This brochure is an overview of the common types of scams that anyone can get caught in. So as you can see, we've got imposter scams, telephone online marketing scams, home repair scams, charity scams, healthcare scams. Okay. Um, and we'll take a look. We'll start with the imposter scams where the person is not who they say they are, but they try to fool you into you giving them money. Okay. Now, the telephone and online marketing scams, that they present one set of circumstances that don't prove to be true, usually as a way to steal personal information and eventually your money. And when it comes to the home repair scams, a lot of times they promote themselves as experts, but in the end, they may not finish the job or they've done a very poor job. And so you've spent this money and you certainly are not pleased with the work that these contractors may have done. Even when you want to do good, it's possible to get burned by a charitable organization that does harm instead of helping. So we'll also touch on the healthcare scams that prey on our medical conditions, often when individuals are unable to pay close attention. So now let's take a look at each one of these scams a little bit more closely. Now, you could get a call. This is the imposter scam. You could get a call from someone or some automated recording saying they're from the IRS or Social Security Administration, and you owe money. These scam artists will spoof the phone number. In other words, they can make any number appear on your caller ID So it looks like it may be an official number. It's not. Caller ID is no longer infallible. Okay. Uh, and so um, the way we want you to kind of handle this, first of all, when it comes to the phone calls, if you see a number on your screen that you don't recognize, don't answer it. Okay. If it's a friend or relative, their name is going to pop up. Okay. Generally speaking, most businesses, legitimate businesses, 9 times out of 10, their names are going to pop up. Okay. So if you see a number that's on your screen, on your phone, you don't recognize, let it go to voicemail. Let your voicemail answer your phone calls. If you're at home, you got an answer machine, same thing. Let your answer machine screen your phone calls. Now, you may also be contacted by a phony debt collector or a credit card company that threatens to arrest you if you don't pay what they say you owe. After the death of someone close to you, scammers may call to say the deceased owes money that you are responsible for paying. Um, just to let you know, in Illinois, and I think in most states, I don't know. Let me just talk about Illinois. In Illinois, the debt dies with the debtor. So um, if that situation calls, please reach out to the appropriate sources, an attorney, whatever, and they can advise you on that. But I'm pretty sure that in Illinois, the debt dies with the debtor. Now, these scams, they can play on your emotions. Okay. You can get the grandparent scam where they say your grandchild is in trouble or needs money immediately. We don't want you to send anything immediately. So we want you to take a moment, take a deep breath. You know, no grandparent wants to, you know, not help their grandchild. But we want you to take a moment and just think about it. We also want you to verify before you send any money. So take a moment. If that's supposedly your grandson or your granddaughter that called you or somebody on their behalf, call your son or daughter and say, hey, I'm just checking on Tim. Is he okay? And let's see what answer you get. You haven't betrayed Tim's trust if it was really Tim calling you, but you are trying to verify that this was Tim and Tim is in some situation that he needs some help. So before you send the money, please try to verify, verify, verify. All right. We'll go to the next screen. Um, and we also want you to report them to us. Okay. So as I stated before, use your voicemail to um, scan those calls to vet them. Um, Please don't buy the gift cards, okay, for somebody. That is not how we do transactions, okay? If somebody needs cash money, that they need cash or money, not a gift card, okay? A doctor doesn't need a gift card for services. An attorney doesn't need a gift card for services, okay? Um, Again, verify the caller story by calling the company, agency, or family member, okay? And then again, don't forget, please report it to our office. Okay. And if you have a problem, you call us. Call us. We don't mind talking to you. We may be able to assist you and let you know if we think it's a scam and give you some tips on how you should handle it. Okay. Uh, the voice cloning AI scam. Now, this is something that we're probably going to see more of. Um, this is a new method that scammers are using to make imposter scams even more effective with tricks like artificial intelligence technology, AI. You may believe your loved one is actually in harm's way. You can get a call or a voicemail from a friend or relative saying they need money immediately because of an emergency. It sounds like them. They could say that they are in jail or stuck somewhere and will ask you to send them money or your credit card number. Their recorded voice could have been taken from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. The voice can also be recorded from meetings And just take talking on the phone, for example, with someone who is trying to sell you something, or from answering a survey question. Scammers will use AI software to take parts of a real recording and manipulate it into a script so that it fools you. So we want you to be very, very careful. Again, that's one of the main reasons why we want you to try to verify. All right. Don't panic. Okay, that's the first thing we do. Take a deep breath. Don't panic. Again, reach out to the person directly. If they say that's the case, you turn around, you got their number. Call them. Call them on the phone. Okay, or call local law enforcement yourself. Okay, consider setting up a family code word to use only in the case of a real emergency. So if your family member is calling you with this emergency and they didn't give you the code word, you know it's not them. And hang up and do not engage in the scammers. We don't want you talking to them. Okay. So please don't even engage them in conversation. Once you determine that it's a scam, hang up. Hang up. That ends the conversation. Now, sweetheart scammers or romance scammers are con artists who prey on people by pretending to fall in love with them, to win their trust, and then steal their money. Now, let's walk through how it works. It may start online. Then the grooming starts to fuel personal feelings. They attempt to move on to emails or texts to your personal phone. Over time, you may believe you are in a legitimate relationship until the requests for money start to come in. Okay. Travel or investments or even plans for your wedding. Um, the best way to avoid these scams is to avoid bringing the scammer into real life. When the red flags come up in the and in the communication, block their phone number and don't open the emails. Okay. And again, once they start asking you for money, that's when your antennas ought to go up. Okay. So please don't send the money. And if you have not seen them face to face, that's another clue. If it's online and you're texting, you're emailing them, okay. Uh, but do it face to face. Do it face to face. See them online because if you met them online, dating sites and all this other kind of stuff, that's not their picture. That's not what they look like, their profile. That's not who they are. So try to do it face to face and see if they really are who you think they are based on the picture that they had on their profile. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Um, Now, these are the email scams, okay? And uh, these are especially common and an annoying tactic, okay? Email scams that try to gain personal identifying information, okay? Um, the email is made to look like it was from Best Buy, but some clues show that it was a phony. One trick is to hover your mouse over the from address, okay, and it says an account team. But if you look at the screenshot on the right, account team has an email address from Gmail, not Best Buy. The Gmail, that's somebody's personal email. Best Buy doesn't have a Gmail address. Okay. So let's watch for the signs. The intent is to get you to click on that link that says view invoice. Okay. Because you supposedly owe this money from there. And there really is no telling what site they will connect you to so that they can continue the scam. Or even if they're not doing that, some of them are just malicious and they just want to download malware onto your computer and mess you up. So, you know, we want you to be careful about that. Telephone scams. Telephone and online scams can use many of the same imposter scams techniques. In many cases, the goal is identity theft along with financial loss. You may have encountered calls or emails offering computer tech support. Okay. They are actually trying to get remote access to your computer or screen or search for information that will allow access to to your financial records. If you get a thing that pops up on your screen that says you've got this virus or whatever and stuff like that, okay, and they want you to call this number, or they say they're from one of the companies that I can't call a name right now, but there are companies out there that help consumers with issues, and it just pops up on your screen automatically. Again, take a moment, don't react immediately, and please don't call or click on any links. Don't call a number, don't click on any links. Get out of that screen. Just shut your computer down, don't answer it. Hopefully that will get rid of it. And if it disappears, then you know it's a scam. Don't fall for it. Okay. Now, similarly, you may receive an email that appears to be from a bank or a credit card company with a link to update your account info. Okay. This is another way to fool you into giving up your login information. Remember, anything that sounds too good to be true, it probably is. It's not free if you have to pay for a prize, trial, or shipping. Okay. You can try to stop the calls by registering your phone number with the Do Not Call registry, and we do recommend doing that. Okay. It's not going to stop all the calls, but if you're not registered, you should see a marked decrease in the amount of, especially telemarketing phone calls that you receive. Okay. Again, it's not going to stop every nuisance call. However, it can severely reduce the number. Again, just hang up, okay, or ignore it and report it. Uh, now, let me see. Okay, hold on for a second. I've got the wrong screen. Let me get to the right screen here. All right, there we go. Now, home repair scams. Our homes are often our most valuable asset, and that can make one an easy target for home repair scams. It can often start with a knock on the door or an offer for discounted repairs, especially after a natural disaster like a flood or storm. The Attorney General's office tracks home repair scams and has seen it rise to the top of our claims file. Okay. As I told you, it did get knocked out of the number one spot, but for at least the last previous 4 years, it was number one, and it's only fallen to number two. So it's not far from number one. Be wary of door-to-door telephone marketing. Look for established contractors with recommendations from people you trust. Now, watch out for offers um, with a free inspection, okay? Um, and be wary if they will only take a cash payment, okay? Next, let's look at how you can stop this scam. We have a brochure that contractors are by law required to provide for any job more than $1,000. And let me, that is on the next screen. It also covers the right to cancel. I'm going to pull up that next screen, Daryl. Okay, this is it here. So if you're hiring a contractor, this is the document. We have produced this document in our office. It's called Know Your Rights Home Repair. Um, that contractor coming to your house to do those repairs, okay, is supposed to give you this. Okay, is supposed to give you this document. Now, what would be wise is if you go ahead and download this from our website so you have it already, but at least take a look at it on our website so you know what it says and stuff like that. Again, when it comes to the website, we have a lot of information on our website regarding home repair. So there's a lot of information on there. I strongly encourage you to read it so that that'll put you in the best position to not be taken by these home repair scams. Okay. Um, if you have been defrauded by a contractor, we have a team of advocates and attorneys who can help you get the matter sorted out if mediation is required. We also investigate these claims to determine if our office can prosecute or sue. Okay. Our home repair investigators look for trends or can determine if a contractor has broken the law. It covers protection when subcontractors are and insurance are involved. If you have questions or believe that you may have been defrauded, um, that's when you contact us. Okay. So if that's the case, by all means, contact us. In March, a contractor that the Attorney General charged last year pleaded guilty to charges of home repair fraud and theft in DuPage County Circuit Court. He was sentenced to 7 years in prison. He also admitted to a similar charge in Will County, drawing him a 7 year sentence. That was an extreme example, but fraud does happen. So now we'll take a look at more about how you can get help if something goes wrong. Uh, Charity scams. Okay, we want you to be careful of the charity scams. All charitable organizations that solicit or hold donations in Illinois are required uh, to register with our office. Okay, members of the public can check the online charitable database at charitableViewer.ilag.gov. Okay, to search to see if a charity or a private foundation is registered and compliant with reporting requirements. If they're registered with our office, they have to file annual reports and other material. The database provides financial information such as assets, income, and annual financial report. We encourage you strongly to do your research, give to an organization that you are confident in, and don't hesitate to say no thanks if a solicitation does not feel right. And trust me, you don't have to be, a lot of times they'll call you on the phone, want you to give, stuff like that, and you got to give right away. No, you don't. You do not have to give right away. If you're thinking about giving to a charity, they call you on the phone. Have them send you something in the mail. If they're a legitimate organization, they will have marketing materials, and you can take a look at that at your leisure and then decide whether that's what you want to do. We'll go to the next slide. Okay, healthcare scams. Now, our health is important and fragile. As such, we can fall prey to healthcare scams that promise cure-all remedies or promote a scientific breakthrough. Scammers may offer free medical products or devices, or they'll tell a consumer that upfront payment is required for a product that they don't subsequently provide. Similarly, they send a product with the promise that they will work with the patient's insurance for payment, but that product is not covered and the patient is on the hook for the payment. So we definitely want you to be on the lookout for this stuff. If you get a phone call and they say they're for Medicare, they're not for Medicare, okay? Medicare doesn't call you. Okay, Medicare doesn't call you. Governmental agencies, they don't call you. The IRS doesn't call you. Social Security doesn't call you. Hey, guess what? The Illinois Attorney General's office, we don't call you. If any of these agencies wanted to get in touch with you, they would send you a letter. That's how it works. So be careful of the phone calls that you're getting. The most important thing to remember about the Healthcare Bureau is that there are advocates who are trained in medical records and billing terminology available to help mediate when you believe you are a victim of healthcare fraud. This assistance begins with a simple phone call to, um, uh, and our number is 877-305-5145. Again, that number is 877-305-5145. That's our hotline. That's our hotline to our healthcare bureau. All right, let's go to our next screen. So, generally, if you want to get help from the attorney's office, we have spent time talking about prevention, but the odds are likely that we could potentially fall prey to a scam. Let's now move into what you can expect when you contact the Illinois Attorney General's office. It begins with contacting our office to explain your situation. Specially trained staff will review the complaint and determine the best course for a resolution. Uh, The Office of the Attorney General provides several means for the public to file a complaint during normal times. The most convenient method is to fill out a complaint online at the website. Again, that website is www.illinoisattorneygeneral.gov. The offices at the LaSalle location in downtown Chicago and the Springfield office are set up with staff who can take complaints and answer questions. Excuse me. We also have regional offices throughout the state. So we try to make it as seamless as possible. The easiest way, of course, though, is if you're able to go online. That's probably the best way to do that. Additionally, we maintain several telephone hotlines to report specific types of fraud or other inquiries. Okay. If you require translation to complete the form, we can contact you with a person who can respond in your language. So we'll be able to talk to you. Give us a moment, but we'll be able to talk to you. Okay. Uh, Now, the mediator will look into the details and contact the business or organization. He or she will attempt to bring about a fair resolution. Not every case can be resolved, and the process can involve several weeks or months of communicating with the business and reporting back to the consumer. Even when a case cannot be resolved, it is important to make a complaint so that our attorneys can spot patterns of fraud and uncover potential cases for more legal action. Every complaint that gets reported could potentially help someone else avoid getting scammed. So we really do want you, even if you resolve the situation yourself, but you had some issues, report it to us. Okay, we'll go to that next screen. Okay. And we talked about some of those hotline numbers, or at least numbers to our other bureaus. This is that screen there. You've got our consumer fraud line, you've got our consumer helpline on there, healthcare, our crime victims assistance program, our civil rights bureau is on there. Okay. We also have a resource directory that lists these and many others, and that, of course, is on our website. Um, uh, and we can do these presentations for community groups that you may be involved in, or if you're interested in a presentation or another topic. So please just send us an email. You can send it to outreach@ilag.gov. Again, that email is outreach, outreach, ilag dot gov, G-O-V. And that's if you need us to, if somebody in the audience wants to pursue having us come out and do a presentation. We would be, again, I told you that's one of our main ways to do that, and we would be more than happy to try to see if we can accommodate you.